Wigan-based Langen Motorcycles have this week gone live with a new crowdfunding scheme, hoping to raise £600,000 of additional investment to create tooling and meet homologation standards on their incoming Lightspeed muscle cruiser. Accessible online through Europe. Republic.com. The investment program will allow people to become shareholders in Langen. A £300,000 minimum target has been outlined on the website, although it's hoped that this figure will be doubled. The Lightspeed concept was first seen November 2023, making its public debut at the Motorcycle Live show at Birmingham's NEC. It's powered by a Buell-derived 1,190 cubic centimeters V-twin with Langen's own electronics package, harness, ride-by-wire throttle system, and ECU. Power sits at a claimed 185 brake horsepower with a tubular steel frame, raked-out proportions, and its sights set on the likes of Ducati's 23,995 pounds Diavel V4. It's hoped that the funding will allow the brand to achieve homologation standards to sell the bike into Europe, with a slightly more powerful version coming to UK customers courtesy of Motorcycle Single Vehicle Approval, MSVA rules. We're going for higher volume production tooling, and we want to try and bring the cost of the bike down if we can, and hopefully we can sell more because it's a more affordable price for everybody, Langen founder Christopher Ratcliffe explained. To give you an example, for the chassis and bodywork tooling we need £150,000, but then the cost of the parts is decreased and the quality stays very high over time, he continued. If we are successful with the raise and we get the figure that we want, then we'll also start working on type approval concurrently. Ratcliffe added, since the very beginning, we've designed the Lightspeed with type approval in mind. So we've got ABS, we've got the right ECU to do OBD2 diagnostics. There are a few tweaks needed, because the UK bike is still going to be noisier and more power than perhaps we're allowed to do in Europe, but that's part of our USP. Ahead of going live with the crowdfunding, the company had attracted £212,241 of investment from 33 bodies. It's hoped that they can raise a total of £600,000 to bring their bikes to a more globalized market in a shorter space of time. In Europe, bikes sold must currently adhere to €5 plus emissions rules, which came into full force at the start of 2025. Chris and his team hope to appear at the EC-May trade show in Milan in 2026 to showcase the production bike for export. We've got a very clear plan on our objective and time frame, Ratcliffe continued. If we raise above and beyond that, then we can accelerate the type approval plans. We can do everything concurrently. If we raise slightly less than the £600,000, then all the plans still works because we're still a functioning operating business. The money will also assist with the development of a Lightspeed turbo model, which was teased to the public in early February at the first announcement of the crowdfunding plans. Prices are still to be finalized. However, we're told that the power could be as high as 300 brake horsepower in bursts, with some customers registered to a Lightspeed already upgrading their orders. We're starting with a good system, a very robust system, but not a very refined system, so that's our job now, Ratcliffe said in reference to the drag racing-derived turbos being used. If you look at the design of the swing arm, it's kind of a gull arm, and that was done to make room for the turbo, so it was always meant to be. The key is the electronics for us, and the next step is to apply our harness, our ECU, our throttle bodies. We can manage the waist and boost very accurately. The goal is to make it rideable, he explained. In standard mode, where you'd want it for riding around on the road, it's going to be 220 to 250 brake horsepower, but we'll have a switch. We'll advise nobody to push the switch, but it will unleash around 300 brake horsepower at that point.